Hello, my dears. This is Annette of AnnetteLeonard.com, back again with a moment for chronic wellness. I struggle with whether to keep with the production schedule that I've set out for myself, or whether to just always be transparent with you about what's happening a la minute in my life. And in this case, the latter has won out because I've been absent for a couple of weeks. And so it seems worthwhile to just go back and explain a little bit, because these are the stories of our lives. This is how it works. I had about a week of GI distress, which is not uncommon in my world, but what was uncommon is that came with a fever. And after it resolved for a couple of days, the fever returned with a cough. And I was certain that it felt exactly the same to me as having a respiratory flu did a few years ago, and I had just zero energy. I was prepared to just lay there and feel like I was liquefying and have fever dreams and be down for the count. And my wife, recognizing that conditions were not normal, contacted my physician and my pulmonologist, who said, take her to the ER. Now, for those of you who've been paying attention here, you'll remember that last summer I had a fall and a head injury where I fought going to the ER with some negative consequences. And my wife had sat me down after that, after I'd recovered from that, and said, I need you to pay attention differently. I need you to listen differently when I'm asking you to follow my best inclination about your health care. I need you to pay attention when your doctors suggest something. And so when she said, your doctors are saying we need to go to the ER, instead of doing what I wanted to do, which was put her off and tell her no and lay back down, I crept up and reached for my sweatpants and didn't argue. And we went to the ER and I was diagnosed with pneumonia. So it was right and good that I did as was asked of me, instead of that stubborn internal resistance that I'll unpack more with you in later days, but I know is related to not fully believing myself how bad things are at times, is related to being told that I'm somehow hypochondriacal as a child, is related to disbelieving the severity of my own illnesses at times and wanting to downplay them, is related to not wanting this to be the truth of my circumstance, I'm sure. So I am 1 week into my pneumonia diagnosis. I am recovering much more slowly than I would like to be true, and how unsurprising that that we're beating back my immune system to keep my body from fighting itself, and therefore it's hard for my immune system to rally to fight other things like pneumonia. And thankfully, this isn't COVID pneumonia, so I have much to be grateful for at the same time. So that's just a short note to update you on where I've been, and to remind you that you aren't the only one struggling with the roller coaster of these health conditions and the ways in which they surprise us, and the ways in which stability gets rocked and we get blown off course. I am doing meditations, and I've asked just a few close friends to send me little words of encouragement or text notes of humor and love, so that when I do turn my phone from sleep, which is what it's on full time so that I don't get disturbed, to on, I have little reminders that I matter and that I'm being remembered and thought of, as just ways to lift my spirits in this time that feels really dark and isolating. So, reminders to you of ways you might care for yourself in hard times. And in the meantime, I love you. And I hope that there are moments of rest and gentle ease in your days. Until we're together again, be well.